you could be expected. The President, as Commander-in-Chief, I always respect and revere their service and that of their families. But now to today's announcement. Vice President Harris and I were joined by members of our COVID-19 response team, Dr. Tony Fauci, our Chief COVID Medical Advisor, Javier Becerra, our nominee for Secretary of Health.
So just so you know my life, as
Dr.
we're waiting to do this, I just agreed to
Dr. Rochelle
plea sentence
Walensky,
for,
she's going to be the Director for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and Dr. Marcelo Nunez-Smith, who will be leading our equity work and the COVID response, and Jeff Zients and Natalie Quillen, who are managing this whole effort. Yesterday, during my inaugural address, I offered a salient prayer and a silent prayer. It was both salient and silent. I thought it was important that people understand what had happened, that we all pay tribute to our prayers for those 400,000 Americans who've lost their lives in this pandemic. On Tuesday, Jill and I, Kamal and Doug, we stood at the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial and joined Americans all across the country to remember those 400,000 moms and dads, husbands and wives, children, sons, daughters. And I said at that moment that to heal, we must remember. To heal, we must remember. It's important to do that as a nation. We must also act, though, not just remember. Yet for the past year, we couldn't rely on the federal government to act with the urgency and focus and coordination we needed. And we have seen the tragic cost of that failure. 3,000 to 4,000 deaths per day. To date, more than 24 million Americans have been infected. To put that in context, America makes up 4% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's confirmed COVID-19 cases and only 20% of all the COVID-19 deaths, when we have 4% of the world's population. The pandemic has disproportionately impacted on blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are about 4 times as likely to be hospitalized and nearly 3 times more likely to die from the COVID-19 pandemic than white Americans. Hospitals are out of beds. Businesses are closed for good. Schools are caught in between. And while the vaccines provide so much hope, the rollout has been a dismal failure thus far. So, I understand the despair and frustration of so many Americans and how they're feeling. I understand why many governors, mayors, county officials, tribal leaders feel like they're left on their own without a clear national plan to get them through the crisis. Let me be very clear. Things are going to continue to get worse before they get better. The memorial we held 2 nights ago will not be our last one, unfortunately. The death toll will likely top 500,000 next month. The cases will continue to mount. We didn't get into this mess overnight. It's going to take months for us to turn things around. But let me be equally clear. We will get through this. We will defeat this pandemic. And to a nation waiting for action, let me be the